Dustin and Maria Starr here to invite you to the Championship Wrestling Drive-In Spooktacular, presented by Pro Shingle, Halloween Day at 3 p.m.
Watch pro wrestling from the comfort of your own car. One low price gets your carload in for all the action, including Halloween candy, food trucks, kids Halloween costume contest presented by Party Works, and more.
AEW's Marco Stunt and Peter Avalon will be in action, plus your Saturday morning favorites.
Tickets benefit the Hero Empowerment Center. Get yours today at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
Missouri, get ready! November 21st, the National Guard Armory will be rumbling with live wrestling action as AHCW presents Thanksgiving Thunder. Be there to see Zay Washington, Derek King, the LA Hustlers, Walker Hayes, Justin Case, The Posse, and former WWE superstar Eugene. General admission is just $10, third row is $13, second row is $14, and front row, which includes meet and greet, is only $15. Get advance tickets now at the Diane Sayer Rec Center or by phone 636-232-3313 or 731-589-8013. AHCW Thanksgiving Thunder, November 21st, Caruthersville, National Guard Armory, 7:30 bell time. Be there!
This episode is brought to you by SPOD.CLUB. SPOD.CLUB is the perfect blend of water and silicone. It is an all-purpose personal lubricant that can be used for any occasion. You will love the natural feeling and look of it. It is safe for sensitive skin. Go to SPOD.CLUB.com and tell them Shooting the Shiznit sent you.
Oh, you didn't know? Well, your ass better, you better tell someone. Tell someone about STSPOD.CLUB. Tell them now. Call them. Text them. Tell them. Telegram. Send them video messages. Whatever. Tell them. Do you want to be a professional wrestler or train with the legend at the School of Morton? Go to RickyMortonOnline.com or call 423-297-7623. Tell him STS Pod sent you. It's time for the Cool Kids Countdown. We're live from STS Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and I have in the green room waiting for me Ricky Morton. How are you, Ricky?
Man, I'm absolutely wonderful. Gosh, Jonesboro, Arkansas. Now, what kind of memories does that bring back to me?
I knew you was going to say that. That's another famous wrestling town. People don't think of it as a wrestling town, but it really was. There's a lot of history in this little town of Jonesboro.
I'm not trying to cut you off here, but I'm going back to the time at I guess it was American Legion building or something, the old one. Did you ever visit the old one?
Yes, sir. I was there almost every time they had. I was in college back in the day, and we went once a month.
Yes. Now, we wrestled there every Saturday night. Now, when the old building was there, gosh, I mean, it brings back so much memory because, that's before they built the new one, brick, all modern. This here was all tin. And then the wrestling there, they had a wash tub that was up over the ring, and they had a big light bulb in it. And when you cut it down, the whole rest of the building was dark, and the light was just right over the ring. And I remember the boys, we used to try to hit the light to make it swing, because when it did, it made the half building go dark. Then it'd come back to light half the building. But long time ago, it was like the old Blyville building. I don't know if you've ever been to Blyville, Arkansas, to wrestling, but it was like that old building in Blyville.
Oh yeah, they had the dressing room. I'll tell you, I was in Blyville one night, and Randy Savage was there, and we got Elizabeth was sitting in the crowd right above the heel dressing room. And back then, I just knew that was his girlfriend. We didn't have any idea that one of these days she's going to be so famous. And they sold beer in Blyville. That was a cool thing. They sold beer, and that crowd was rowdy. Boy, they was rowdy.
It was hard, and bless his heart, I never forget. It was an old building. It was built, though. Plowboy Frazier, what is he, 9 foot tall? But
I know this story.
Oh, yeah. He come out of that, they played us, and he come out of there and stood up and hit his head on that 2x4 up here and knocked him completely out. And he fell down that floor. He was so big you couldn't move him with the tow motor, and unbelievable.
All right, Ricky, what we're going to do today is I'm going to tell you, and I know some of these names are going to surprise you. I'm going to give you, this is a cool kids countdown, so I'm going to give you my top 10 favorite tag teams of all time. I just want to put a disclaimer in there. Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express are not in the top 10 because they're the top. They're my most favorite tag team of all time, so we won't get Ricky to talk about himself. I want Ricky to talk about other teams. So let me count them down, and you tell me what comes to mind when I say the name. So number 10, the Fantastics.
Oh, the Fantastics. You're talking about Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
I really liked Tommy and Bobby. They were a great tag team. But the only thing bad is, and we did the same thing in Memphis, not outside of Memphis. We played second fiddle to the Fabulous Ones. But Tommy and Bobby played. It was hard because we go into a territory, and then we'd leave, and they bring the Fantastics in or take our place. But as individual workers and individual people, they were super fantastic.
That's right. Great.
That's what I call them, the Fantastics.
Right. Here's a team that'll surprise you probably, but my number 9, the Pretty Young Things, Coco Ware and Norvell Austin.
Norvell Austin, and I don't know if you know this or not, Norvell Austin was the original Midnight Express.
Yep.
Him and Dennis Condrey, Randy Rhodes. They started it out in Pensacola. In our business, and a lot of the young guys in the business, if you stay in it, some of the boys you'll grow up with, me and Coco, we started about around the same time, and we grew up in the business together. Coco's fantastic, and to be who he was, and in real life, Coco's one of the nicest guys you ever meet, but don't ever piss him off, because I see him whoop not only 1 or 2, but 4 or 5 different boys' asses real quick. Okay, in the dressing room and out back. He was a pickle. And Norvell, I knew Norvell since I was a kid. He worked the territories in Memphis and for Nick Goulas, and he used to be partners with Sputnik Monroe. Norvell Austin and Sputnik Monroe, and Norvell had the front hair of his hair dyed blonde up on top.
And Norvell is probably one of the most underrated guys because a lot of people, when I say that name, they're like, who, you know? But I loved them as a heel tag team. They were so good. And I was so surprised when it happened because Coco was a babyface so long. And then when he turned heel, it was just so good with that. All right, here's a tag team, Ricky, that probably wouldn't have been a tag team if it wouldn't have been for you two guys. But what about the Midnight Rockers?
Midnight Rockers. You know, they got a lot of heat off of using the Midnight and the Rockers name, like the Midnight Rockers, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express. But Shawn Michaels, you know, Shawn was a big fan of ours, of mine especially. When I worked in San Antonio, Texas with Joe Blanchard, he was a kid. Shawn, you know, he come up hard way. He's a hell of a worker. The Midnight Rockers, to me, people ask me all the time, what do I think about the Midnight? Was I mad? But no, I took it as a compliment. You know, it's just too bad about Marty. You know, Marty, and that's why I never turned, you know, I mean, I did turn heel on Robert, but that was the reason why I did that for it, because I was, you know, Robert got hurt. He left the territory. I had to have a job, and I had to have a job. And as soon as Robert came back, me and him left and went to Smoky Mountain. Marty Jannetty, you know, as kids and us growing up, they were great. You see what Shawn Michaels, where he's at now, you know, man, Shawn Michaels is at the top of the world, you know, the biggest wrestling company in the world. He's, you know, that I don't know if they are now or not, but since the pandemic. But you know, Shawn Michaels, what can I say for him? He's awesome. He's great.
Yeah, you know, the thing about Vince is
him.
he always, if he wanted a tag team, he couldn't get you. He would go out and make another team like you. So that's something he did back in the day. And the weird thing was that they were just so good, and you were like, I don't want to like these guys because they're Rock and Roll Express. They're still in the gimmick, but I love those guys. All right, that was number 8. Go ahead.
Okay, no. Just you know, I was just saying they were great back then because WWF and then with the WWE, then it was great to watch. Now it's horrifying. But
right,
okay, go ahead.
Well, they don't understand what tag team wrestling's about now. Number 7,
horrifying.
Yeah, that was number 8, and number 7 is the Road Warriors.
Oh wow, the biggest. You know, the change of our business. You know, it was happening at the time when promoters, you know, they owned the territory and they was the top workers there. But then you had the Road Warriors come in, you know, and Joe and Mike, they were hard to handle, but they were business. And that's one thing that I really loved about them. And then as the years went on, they got to be great. They're some of the greatest guys, and it's sad. You know, Mike died probably 17 or 18 years ago. And then Joe, September 21st was my birthday. He called to wish me happy birthday, and I was just messing with him on the phone. And, you know, the next day was his anniversary, the 22nd of September. And and before he hung the phone up, because I was messing with him, and you got to, you know, but tomorrow's his anniversary. You know, I'm stirring up. And then he wished, but before he hung the phone up, he said, Ricky Morton, I love you, and I'll see you this Saturday. And he died the next day on his anniversary with his wife.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
Sad situation.
Just so
I know that we're here on a... Go ahead.
Well, I want to know something, Rick. I want you to be honest with me, all right? Were those two guys as stiff as it looked like they were?
If they wanted to be.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Okay, do you answer? Okay, if they wanted to be. I worked with them 100 times. I never felt them in the ring, you know, except when they give you that finish at the end, and that, you know, but that was it. No, if they wanted to work with you, they worked with you. If they didn't want to work with you, they didn't work with you. That's just the way it was.
Great answer. Number 6, and you knew I grew up around the Memphis area, so number 6, it is the Moondogs.
Larry Lathan, Randy Colley. Well, and what's sad to say, I love the Moondogs more than where they a great heel team there, especially with the Fabulous Ones when they started there. I don't know if you know this or not. Larry Lathan died in the ring with me while I was wrestling in Memphis,
I do.
Tennessee.
Yes, sir. I know that.
Yes, he sure did. Our business was different. But when they started the Moondog gimmick, that's when they really got away from working a little bit. Larry had a lot of heat. So a lot of people could God, he hit him with that chair so damn hard, and you didn't need to. People could only see that how you feel. And if you have a great baby face that can sell it, it looks like it killed you. So that's the only thing about that. But Randy Colley and Larry were, as a heel team. I mean, that's when you sell out, being a heel team, you sell out Memphis every Monday night. And the reason I'm saying that, if you got enough heat that the fans want to see the baby faces whoop the heel's ass every week, but the heel keeps screwing them, Larry Lathan and Randy Colley as the Moondogs were great at it.
Amen. I will be talking about the Fabs here in a little bit, but I was not a huge fan of the Fabs until they feuded with the Moondogs, and then they turned into ass kickers. So there you go. Guys, that's 5 of them. That was 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're going to come back right after the commercial and talk about my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and count my favorite tag team of all time.
Dustin and Maria Starr here to invite you to live pro wrestling on Halloween Day.
That's right, it's the Championship Wrestling Drive-In Spooktacular presented by Pro Shingle and benefiting the Hero Empowerment Center.
Oh yeah! Watch professional wrestling from the comfort and safety of your own car on Halloween Day at 3 p.m. in Memphis.
One low price gets your entire carload or truckload in for all the action, including Halloween candy, food trucks, kids Halloween costume contest presented by Party Works, and more.
AEW's Marco Stunt and Peter Avalon will be in action, along with Watts, CC Chanel, Will Allday, and your favorites from Memphis Wrestling, Derek King, Alan Steele, The Posse, and more.
Ticket proceeds benefit the Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis and the Hero Empowerment Center. For more information and to purchase your ticket, go to ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
Halloween Day will never be the same.
Missouri, get ready! November 21st, the National Guard Armory will be rumbling with live wrestling action as AHCW presents Thanksgiving Thunder. Be there to see Zay Washington, Derek King, the LA Hustlers, Walker Hayes, Justin Case, The Posse, and former WWE superstar Eugene. General admission is just $10, third row is $13, second row is $14, and front row, which includes meet and greet, is only $15. Get advance tickets now at the Diane Sayer Rec Center or by phone 636-232-3313 or 731-589-8013. AHCW Thanksgiving Thunder, November 21st, Caruthersville, National Guard Armory, 7:30 bell time. Be there! Hey guys, do you remember the days when you were younger? You know what I mean, when you could look at that Victoria's Secret catalog and just the thought of it being in your mail made it stand to attention? Well, now, if you're trying to get back to your glory days, there's hope for you. You can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed because listen up, we're talking about BlueChew.com. Yes, blue like the color blue.
BlueChew.com brings you the very first chewable with the same ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, ready whenever an opportunity arises.
Blue Chew is prescribed online and shipped straight to your door in a discreet package. So no in-person doctor visits, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy.
Right now, we got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com, get your very first shipment free when you use our special promo code STS. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUE Chew.com, promo code STS, try it free.
Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice, and we thank them for sponsoring this podcast.
This episode is also sponsored by Manscaped.com. That's right, get 20% off and free shipping with the code STSPOD. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped.com with promo code STSPOD. All right, hey, we're back with the legend, the one that only, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton. Ricky, we got 5 more tag teams to talk about. Number 5, and I know you like these guys. They get a lot of a bad rep from some of the old school guys, but I like them too. I'm old school, and I love these guys, and that's the Young Bucks.
Oh, the Young Bucks, man, to me, I think the Young Bucks, they're my, to me, I like them. You know, our business has changed. I mean, and you've got to go with our business. If you don't change with it, you're going to be a day late and $1 short. To me, I think the Young Bucks are the Rock and Roll Express of our time. And I do. I mean, the Hardy Boys, they were their type. But, you know, as our business goes on, to me, right now, I don't know. Our business has changed. You don't know who's babyface. You don't know who's heel. It just pops back and forth. I don't think they believe in that, but I love the Young Bucks. I think they're really good. They're at the top of my list.
Yeah, man. All right. I remember thinking, you know, when I first started watching them, like, where's the psychology? Where's the coming in and out of heat? Where's the, and then I said, just shut up, BT, just enjoy the match. And that's, and that's what I have to do on things like that. And I love the Young Bucks. I love watching them. I've probably seen more tag team matches with them in the last year and a half than any other tag team. So, all right, number 4.
Yeah, and you stop and look at this. There's a lot of guys give their opinions that which, and I'm going to say this to you. A lot of guys in our business, the ones that the people listen to their podcasts and they knock and never say nothing good about anything. Understand me, they never owned a territory, except for one of them. So you don't know a lot. You know, they act like they know everything about our business, but they really don't, because our business has changed. You know, no, we can't. We don't kayfabe no more. We used to. You don't no more. Yes, you're out there. They go over every move in their match. Because they haven't had the experience of working territories where you can't do that. The heels and baby faces never seen each other.
You had to start, you had to finish. You had to start, you had to finish. Okay. That was about it. That's all you had.
Well, not even us. You know.
Wow.
You know, people even ask me about, look here, I wrestled Ric Flair or something, for we never had the same dressing room. And our business was so kayfabe, especially at NWA days. 9 out of 10 times you didn't get your finish till you got in the ring.
Oh, wow.
And the referee gave it to you then, or you'd be on your way to the ring. And Tommy Young or one of the referees, let's say you're going down Broadway tonight, or you're going to, it wasn't the heels are going to screw you tonight. Okay, you guys over. That's all you got. But see, our business back then was different. And I try to tell people this all the time. It's even like George South. I don't know if you know who George South is.
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's, even though he was an underneath guy in his time, but he was still one of the greatest workers in our business, because he still does that. I wrestled him. I never go over a match with him. Never even go over the finish. We do it all in the ring. But but today's generation, it wasn't brought up like that. It's a whole different ball game, whole different thing. And that's the way it is. I love the Young Bucks. I think they're absolutely wonderful, and they're a good thing for our business.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And one thing I like about them is they got the hustle. They got the hustle that the old school guys, they don't say that, but you remember how you used to go out there and sell your photographs there at Miss Coffee's table, and you said hi to everybody. That's what the Young Bucks do. That's why they've sold so much merchandise and everything.
That's the reason they sell $1 million a year worth of stuff. Okay, and I'm serious, they do.
I know it. They're just following the old Miss Coffee and Mr. Coffee's gimmicks table. That's what they're doing right there.
That's it. Okay.
All right, the number 4 tag team, the Freebirds. Talk to me about the Freebirds, Ricky.
Okay. Michael and Terry, they were another two that we all grew up in the business together. Different places at different times. I know Mike and Terry wasn't really big like they did WA, but like in Texas. For the Von Erichs, they were huge. Michael's still employed by WWE. He's one of the top talent writers, puts matches together and everything. Michael was, if you look in the dictionary of professional wrestling and it says definition of stiff, it's a picture of Michael Hayes. Outside of that, I told Michael one night, I said, Michael, tonight, I want you to haul off and just hit me as hard as you can. And he says, why? I said, because your working punches are going to put me in a hospital.
Oh, yeah. The thought that Michael Hayes with so much charisma, and what I loved about this team, Ricky, was that he had one or two guys that were, they were workhorses. You're talking about Terry Gordy. You're talking about Buddy Roberts. You're talking about these guys that just would work you out of the building, and then you got charisma.
Yes, sir.
Like Michael Hayes.
Yeah, but no. Michael, one of the greatest, and still is to this day, one of the greatest interviewers that was on TV. Now, he surrounded himself. So, but you left one of them out, was Jimmy Garvin.
You're right, yeah.
These guys were absolutely phenomenal. Buddy Roberts, for his time, I remember him years ago would be with Jerry Brown. It's the real Hollywood Blondes. And then in that, Terry Gordy, people just didn't even realize how big he was and what he meant to this business. And Terry was phenomenal. He was, he's in my top 10 list of the greatest workers in this business. But Michael and, the fabulous Freebirds, they speak for themselves. I remember when they first got together and they come to Memphis, and I'm standing back there at that back door. Memphis is sold out every week. They played Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy's music. They built them up to come in. God, they hit that Freebird. And here they come to the ring, and Michael Hayes doing the strut all the way to the ring. I still remember that. Puts cold chills all over me at that time and place. It was like unbelievable.
One of my favorite interviews from Memphis Wrestling is when the Freebirds come out and there's a towel over Michael Hayes' face, and Terry keeps talking about how good looking this guy is, and they're fixing to reveal Michael Hayes. Just awesome, classic stuff. All right, here's my number 3 tag team, and this is probably going to surprise you, but it's the Nightmares, Danny Davis and Ken Wayne, two of my favorite wrestlers of all time, the Nightmares.
Don't surprise me at all, buddy. I was in those days. You hear me?
Right,
Danny Davis. Now, see, Danny Davis, he later became, and you're probably going to say this and that, so I'm going to leave that out. Danny Davis and Nightmare Ken Wayne were the masters of Nightmares. They could work with anybody. Danny, he later come on with OVW and all that, but they were such great workers. A lot of people couldn't even imagine. That's the reason they had them there. There was an underneath tag team, and the reason there was an underneath tag team, and they really dig it because they could work with everybody. Jarrett could put them over on TV one week and then have a top team to beat them next week to get them ready for your top categories, and they were your workhorses of your territories when you have a tag team like that. That's the reason they stayed around there so long. They never left, until, later on when the territory dropped, it wasn't like it was back in the early 80s. Ken Wayne and Danny Davis, the Nightmares, they were a big part of Jarrett's territory, a big part of Memphis Wrestling, Arkansas Wrestling. They were there.
And then when they went to Continental, they were the biggest two. When they were babyface with the makeup on, Ken Wayne tells a story where he said that Danny took all the gimmicks money, and always give him his share. Danny took care of business, give him his share. And Ken told me he was going through a storage locker, and he found one of these tubs that he always carried around while he was wrestling, and inside the tub was these envelopes with $1 bills from all those gimmick photos that they sold. So,
all right,
that was number 3. That was the Nightmares, one of my favorite tag teams. I want to tell you just a quick funny story. So I'm in Carruthersville, Missouri. There's a spot show there. Ken Wayne is in the ring with the mask on. I've never met Ken. I'm just a huge Nightmares fan. And I yell real loud, "Hey, Ken!" And he turns around. Because if I yelled, "Hey, Ricky," you would turn around. So us kids had the biggest laugh out of him breaking kayfabe by turning around as one of the Nightmares. All right, the number 2 tag team. And you know what, Ricky? I said something about the Midnight Rockers wouldn't have been a team if it wouldn't have been for you guys. I don't know if you two guys would have been a tag team if it wouldn't have been for the Fabulous Ones.
Oh, yeah. Do you know the story on that?
I know. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
The story? Okay. I mean, I was wrestling San Antonio, Texas for Joe Blanchard. And Jerry Lawler and Jerry Jarrett were having a history of a time because of the Fabulous Ones. And this is what I try to tell guys about territories. You're not going to get over to the top dog there. I don't give a damn who you are, who you think you are, what you're going to do. You cannot fight City Hall, son. They're going to come after you. And I promise you, the pin or the eraser is a hell of a lot mightier than the sword. And it don't matter. They were fighting. Jerry Lawler was going to go opposition to Jerry Jarrett over the Fabulous Ones. And Jerry come to San Antonio and met with me. Said he wanted to make a tag team like the Fabulous Ones. He thought about putting me and Robert together. And I was coming home. You know what I'm saying? So I was all in for it. I gave my notice there, and he's going to put me and Robert together. So we come there, and when we got there, they made up. You see what I'm saying? They worked it out because it was going to be a no-win situation for either one of the wrestling companies, especially fighting over it like that. Now, here, and that's the whole part of it. But in our business, is being at the right place at the right time. Me and Robert come in, and we was the same thing as the Fantastics was to us. We played second fiddle to the Fabulous Ones. After being the Fabulous Ones, that's Jackie Fargo, the over son of a gun, besides Jerry Lawler, in Memphis territory, the Arkansas territory, Tennessee, Kentucky, and all of them. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah. That's what really got them over. I mean, they was Steve Kern and Stan Lane was there before. But when Jerry Jarrett put them together, they put the top hats on, did all the videos, ZZ Top and all this other stuff. They really, dude, it's a different thing. You have young, good-looking baby faces on your TV. And understand me, when you have young, good-looking baby faces on your TV, you're going to draw the girls. And then when you draw the girls, who do you draw? The guys. And then you have your regular wrestling fan. That's what pops your territories. It was all something new. When opportunity came, we had a lot of people come for us because me and Robert, the one thing that Robert and I had going together, and I'm just going to tell you this, we can work. We can work. It's not taken away from them, but my deal, see, I knew my job. My job was selling and giving Robert a hot tack. A lot of guys didn't like to sell because they thought it made them look bad. To me, I didn't. That's what got us where we was at, and that's what made us in this business.
I agree 100%. In the selling part, which is funny, Jerry Lawler and Hulk Hogan made a living off of selling.
Well, that's what I try to tell everybody. But guys don't even understand this. I said, look at Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was a horrible worker. But one thing that he did was sell. He sold for his match, throw that shirt off, and bam. And that's what got him over.
Same thing with Jerry. He sell.
Now, but listen to me, the fabulous ones, you can't fight City Hall, baby. It's not going to happen. And they try to do that. And that was the downfall of the fabulous ones. But, and then they left Memphis. But listen to me, though. They left Memphis and went to AWA up for Vern. And they did a program with the Road Warriors. You think they were sad they left Memphis? Okay, now.
I want to ask you something about that, though. Would you end up, you said in the right place at the right time, you end up, and I don't know if this is urban legend or if this is true, that Jerry Jarrett went down to Bill Watts and said, you need some pretty boy baby faces. You don't have any pretty boy baby faces, and you guys end up going to Mid-South and having... I love your feud with, and we'll talk about them in just a minute, but was that the truth? Was it Jarrett telling Bill, hey, you need these guys?
No. I don't know if he told it that or not. I know Bill Dundee did.
Dundee did, okay.
Bill Watts. Now, Bill Watts. You got to understand Bill Watts on the territory. Bill Watts is, 400 pounds, 6'9".
Right.
A big old guy. Okay, now, this is what you got to understand. He pushed himself. Okay, take for instance, when Robert and I first went in there, he just finished his ankle up with Abdullah the Butcher. Okay? So he beats Abdullah. But see, in a territory like that right there, now you got to turn Abdullah babyface for the next heel coming in that can beat Abdullah. For Bill Watts can work with that other heel. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's okay now. When your top draw was Abdullah the Butcher, now listen to me. See, they never seen nothing like that in Louisiana. Right time at right place. Did the same thing they did with the Fabs in Memphis. Shot videos of us, showed us all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. Bill Dundee was a smart son of a gun. You had the Russians there. And at that time and point, that's the reason what made Dusty so great. He read the papers. He kept up with the news, what was happening in our world, what's happening in our deal, the textile companies closing down. He became the son of a plumber. That's relating with the rest of the fans, just relating with everything. And Bill Dundee was good about that, too. Here we are. We're the two All-American kids wrestling these two big old Russians. That was Nikolai Koloff and Barry Dorso. That's before we went to NWA and Dusty put Ivan Koloff in them together. See, and it blew Bill Watts' territory wide open. Bill Watts told me he made more the year that Robert and I were there than he made the whole time he owned his territory. When you go from buildings, from National Guard armories to high school, high school gyms, from high school gyms to the civic centers, to the auditoriums, to the Superdome, That's accomplishing something, buddy.
Something's happening.
And then we go back to the high schools. You go back to the high schools in the summertime because we drew so much money we had to go out on the football fields. And I'm serious, so many people.
Hey, that's a good stopping point right there. I want to tell you a quick story about manscaping. That's right. Gosh, everyone out there, all you guys have had the manscaping accident. Well, I'm at the house. A buddy of mine's coming to pick me up. This is when I was a wrestling manager. He knocks on the door. I open my bathroom door and I yell, "Come on in." Him and his girlfriend come in. They sit down on the couch, and I'm manscaping at the time with a razor. Guys, all I can tell you is don't get cut with the blade. That's right, don't get cut with the blade. Let's get with Manscaped. That's right, Manscaped. It's a redesigned electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new improved Lawnmower 3.0. Their third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. When I tell you this is premium, I mean it's premium. The battery lasts up to 90 minutes. It's waterproof. And one of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer, and yeah, you can see it. It's a light. It says closer, more precision trimming. That's right. They've also upgraded to 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. I love that quiet stroke. And let's not forget about the charging stand. That's right, guys. Show your mower off loud and proud because this design stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. If you're listening to me speak about this right now, I want you to experience firsthand. Yes, I want you to experience it firsthand yourself. Trim that junk of yours. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code STSPOD at manscaped.com. And let me tell you guys, your balls will thank you. So, well, my favorite tag team of all time, and it's all kinds of variations. You actually said the first variation earlier, but they always was my favorite tag team, and that was the Midnight Express. And I know you could talk hours about these guys, but what comes to mind as soon as I say Midnight Express?
History. Robert and I, in the wrestling history that would go down forever in this business, the greatest feud of all time. This is the Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express. The Expresses against the Expresses. Now, even though we got really in Louisiana, we was talking earlier, we got the Russians over. Now, when we went to the big arenas, this when the Midnight Express came in. Now, they don't see the Russians then got us all-American fight from the bottom of your heart to Jimmy Cornette coming in talking about what his mama's going to do. What his Midnight Express is going to do. Secret of our business. Get a chance, watch my school Morton on Facebook TV. This is the secret of our business, and nobody understands it. Yes, been a lot of champions, been 9-time World Tag Team champions. But when you're full-time in our business, and this is, if I go back to this is when your ratings is going to come up. This is when our business is going to come up. That's when you put heat on your heels. See, I never wanted to be a champion because you stop and think about this right here. Being a champion, the people don't pay to see me lose. The people pay to see me win.
Chasing
but every week the heels keep screwing you. Jimmy Cornette and the Midnight Express was the greatest in the world at putting stories together. Now, when we first started, it was Dennis. Now, Dennis was the leader of the pack. Bobby Eaton learned to work from this Congress. Dennis had such green chemistry that nobody could ever imagine unless you were there, unless you was in the ring. It's not nobody else can tell you who's the better worker, who wasn't the better worker. That's not a part of it. There is a part of our business is the chemistry, how to tell a story in a match. And Dennis did that. And when Dennis left and Stan come in, you couldn't even believe, because Stan was so good. And I'm serious. Stan was a hell of a lot better heel than he was a babyface.
Oh, and that surprised the hell out of me. I was just like, what? Here's the top babyface.
He worked. Yeah, he was a hell of a lot better. I mean, he's that good-looking guy. He's too good-looking to be a babyface. You hear me? He's that good-looking heel that everybody hates. Because he's too pretty, and he can work. Stan and Bob, because it's hard when you have Dennis and Bobby and they're established tag team and we're wrestling all over the place, and all of a sudden one day Dennis is not there. And then they put Stan Lane right in there, and we never missed a beat. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? How good?
That's crazy, yeah. The idea that you would,
and then him being with Bobby Eaton, that man, you know how that is. Bobby become the best there ever was. Not even in the ring, but outside of the ring. Bobby was one of my greatest friends. Bobby talked to Bobby the other day, and we was just talking, and he told me, he says, Ricky, I got to think, if I took the T out of your last name, your name would be Ricky Moron. And I said, Bobby, if we put an E on the end of your name would be Bobby Eat One. No, but I just kidding. Bobby, over the years, seriously, and I mean, he become my best friend in the business. Robert, he become my brother. It's me and him have been married for like 38 years now in the wrestling.
You got a better marriage there than most of us have. My first one only lasted 10 years. So there you go.
We fight and grump all the time. We're just like an old married couple. But I absolutely choice on the Midnight Express. It's unbelievable. I enjoyed this business so much and enjoyed the good parts of the business and the bad parts. The tag teams you picked were absolutely phenomenal. As in the whole business, gosh, if you bring tag team back, you pop your territories again. It's a lot to see.
I'm so glad.
I'm not here. My wife is right here, and I just want to tell you it was a pleasure being on your show. I got a hook around my neck trying to pull me out the door.
All right. Hey, get out of here, Ricky. We appreciate you coming and doing the Cool Kids Countdown with us. This is the month of Morton, so we couldn't do the month of Morton on the podcast without bringing Ricky Morton on. We do appreciate that. Guys, you'll get the phone number and the website and everything.
Hey, thank you. Hey, and I just want to tell everybody, man, out there that's listening, dude, I have the Eastern time every Sunday at 5:05, which is the Central time. It's 4:05. School of Morton, YouTube, on Facebook. Just go on Facebook, School of Morton. Man, it's really good. Can't wait till this pandemic's over before we get back to wrestling in front of the crowds and seeing all the fans again. To all of you, without you, I couldn't have been Ricky Morton. God bless you all, and I love you.
Thank you, Ricky. Have a great day, man. Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
Hey, guys, that was Ricky Morton. That's right. The legend Ricky Morton doing a Cool Kids Countdown with me. Same bad time, same bad channel, on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, I love my mama. Hey, if you're stuck in the house and still want to order food, go with Uber Eats. That's right. Download Uber Eats on your favorite device. Get $7 off your first order by using this code EATS-BRIANT24790UE. That's EATS-BRIANT24790UE. Did you enjoy that episode? Cash App us, that's right. $BTSTS. Cash App us $1, $2. If you Cash App us over $12, I'll give you 1 year of Patreon for free.
Graphic design is very important. Your logo is the first image potential customers see. What kind of impression would you want to make today? Need a podcast logo or a t-shirt design? KT does art. Her name has become synonymous with quality and professionalism in the graphic design community. She specializes in graphic design, painting, and more. She provides affordable commissions and professional quality with a timely delivery. Contact KT via email at kt_doesart@yahoo.com. Check out her Instagram at instagram.com/kt_doesart.
Hey, that was another great episode of Shooting the Shiznit. We're currently looking for contestants for next year's Who Wants to Be the Best Shiznitter Ever Championship 2021. A shout out to our sponsors this month. And also, we have Patreon. It is only $1 at www.patreon.com/shootingtheshiznit without a G. A big thank you and a shout out to Bob McGee at Pro Wrestling Between the Sheets and Gene Jackson at localstolegends.com. You can reach us on Twitter at comicbookmarkbt, Instagram BT Shooting the Shiznit without a G, Facebook Shooting the Shiznit with a G, and we're also at Cool Kids Wrestling and MMA Talk. You gotta ask to get in. If we don't like you, we'll kick you out. That's right. And you can get all the archives to all the episodes at www.STSPOD.CLUB. All right, let's do a roll call of my favorite podcast. So my favorite non-wrestling podcast would be Who's Right Podcast, Po Boys Podcast, The Official Podcast, Man Brain Podcast, My Favorite Murder Podcast, I Am Fat Podcast. And when it comes to wrestling podcasts, check out Suplex City Limits, Talking Shop, and my buddies over there, Richard and Josh at P3 Radio. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. And remember, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.